In League of Legends esports history, you can find many incredible plays, but the ones good enough to change history? Here are 15 moments that changed League of Legends esports forever. On July 27, 2025, after T1 defeated Genergy 2-1, the organization announced that they had extended Faker's contract all the way until 2029. Now, why does such a recent decision belong on this list? Ever since the pandemic, people had been saying Faker should retire. He's too old for esports. Back then, Faker was only 24 or 25 years old, and even at that age, very few players had stayed active for so long. But then, he won 2 Worlds titles in the last 2 years, and on top of that, became Finals MVP at the age of 28. Slowly, the old narrative began to crumble. With this contract extension, T1 isn't just securing their star player, they're changing the industry's perception, paving the way for veteran players to earn better, longer contracts. And for us, it means we get to watch this man for 4 more years. From the moment League of Legends entered the professional esports scene, Western teams had always been a step behind their Asian counterparts, until 2019. At the MSI that year, 2 Western teams cut through the Asian giants, one after another, and met in the finals. The victor was G2. For the first time in their history, they lifted an international trophy. Later that year, G2 reached the World's finals, but against China's FPX, they couldn't find their footing. Still, this result was proof of something many thought impossible. The West had finally surpassed Korea. These days, in every best-of-5 series before the 5th and final game begins, a certain song plays, almost like a national anthem for the moment. Its story goes all the way back to the Season 2 World Championship. During that tournament, frequent technical issues would delay matches. To ease the tension, this song was played over and over. There were so many delays, and the song played so often, that among the League players, Silver Scrapes became a meme and a beloved tradition. In the years that followed, it officially became the Game 5 anthem, and today it stands as one of the most iconic sounds in League of Legends history. The biggest phenomenon of the early League of Legends era, its most beloved name, XSpec. 13 years ago, in a match between Fnatic and SK Gaming, XSpec pulled off what was likely the first and most iconic backdoor in professional League of Legends history. In that moment, he became a legend, and from that day to this one, no matter who pulls off a backdoor, XSpec is the name that always comes to mind. In the 2018 LCS Summer Semifinals, Fnatic faced Misfits. In Game 3, something happened for the first time in professional League of Legends history. Against a composition built entirely around heavy engage and full tanks, Caps believed the last pick for mid lane had to be Vayne. His coach and teammates didn't agree, but Caps stood his ground. Then Reckless spoke up. "I trust you. If you think you can win with Vayne, pick Vayne." And so, Caps locked it in. What followed was a performance to remember, turning a game they were on the verge of losing into a stunning victory. That day, Caps proved exactly why they called him Baby Faker. Entering the 2025 Winter Split in incredible form, Genjaji went undefeated in the road to MSI playoffs, qualifying for MSI. There, they became undefeated champions, and without slowing down, they went on to win the EWC tournament as well. Now, their next goal was clear: break T1's record of 26 consecutive match wins. In their first series of the LCK Summer Split, Genjaji faced HLE, and with a 2-0 victory, extended their streak to 27 wins, breaking the world record. But in their very next series against T1, Gen and G fell 2-1, ending the streak at 27. One of the most iconic players in League of Legends history, Uzi. He rose to prominence around the same time as Faker and achieved what Faker hadn't at that point, reaching 2 consecutive Worlds finals. But he could never break his curse. He never won an international trophy. This struggle even led him to take a break from the game, before making a return, more mature and no longer just an individual star, but a true team player. In 2018 at the MSI Finals, RNG defeated KZ 3-1. For the first time in his career, the legendary Uzi had won an international tournament. The joy on his face in that moment was unforgettable. Ruler, the greatest ADC in the game, the biggest player to emerge after Faker himself. At the time, these were the 2 most talked about names in Korea, seen as natural rivals. In the 2016 World Championship Finals, SKT T1 defeated SSW 3-2, with Faker besting Ruler to claim yet another world title. But 2017 was different. Once again, the 2 teams met in the World's Finals, but this time, SSW utterly dominated SKT T1. The final moment of that match became one of the most defining plays days in League of Legends history, Ruler in a single decisive move took down Faker and secured the win. That day, he and his team became world champions, and after that final, one truth was widely accepted. Faker was no longer the best player in the world. Ruler was. How many players can become world champions in their very first year as a pro? And not just that, how many can take a mid-tier team, turn them into regional champions, and then into world champions? Only one. The GOAT of this sport, Faker. This world's victory was the moment when the greatest player in League of Legends history and the greatest team in League of Legends history first wrote their names in gold on the game's grand stage. In 2017, after suffering a crushing defeat to Ruler and SSW, Faker and SKT T1 began a steep decline. From that moment on, they would still win domestic titles from time to time, but the most decorated team in World's history couldn't even reach the finals, and sometimes couldn't qualify for major tournaments at all. After SKT T1 rebranded to T1, the team reached the LCK finals every split, only to lose every single one to Genbuchi. Internationally, they reached both the MSI and Worlds finals in 2022 and lost them both. For a team traumatized by being second place, everyone believed that the 2023 World Championship was their last chance. The cruel truth? T1 had barely qualified for the tournament and came in out of form. But during the event, they adapted brilliantly. After 7 long years, T1 became world champions once again, truly inheriting the legacy of SKT. And the man everyone thought should retire, Faker, delivered a phenomenal performance to lift the Summoners Cup for the 4th time. Throughout all of 2022, T1 looked like the best team in the world. They reached the World Championship Finals with ease, and their opponent was DRX, a team that had qualified from 4th place in their own region. Naturally, the favorite was T1 with Faker. After all, no one even expected DRX to make it to Worlds, let alone the finals. Yes, in League of Legends history, there had been underdogs who claimed the world title before, but DRX's 2022 championship and the incredible journey they took to get there remains one of the most respected and inspiring runs ever seen on the world stage. In League of Legends, the first rule of being a good Lee Sin player is knowing how to perform the insec. But have you ever wondered why it's called that? At the end of each year, the All-Star event is held as a fun exhibition tournament. During one of these events, a jungler named Insec pulled off a Lee Sin play that had never been seen before. From that moment on, the move took his name and became known as the Insec. Ever since, whenever Lee Sin is picked, we can't help but watch and wonder if an Insec will happen. In League of Legends history, only one team has ever reached the World Championship Finals 3 years in a row. That team is SKT T1, the team we now know as T1. As SKT T1, they reached the World's Finals in 2015, 2016, and 2017. Years later, under the T1 name, they did it again, 2022, 2023, and 2024. But this time, there was something different. They achieved it with the same 5 players: Zeus, Owner, Faker, Gumayusi, and Keria, winning 2 of the last 3 finals, earned a title few could dispute, the greatest roster of all time. But at the end of 2024, T1 parted ways with Zeus, marking the end of this legendary lineup. The greatest player in Western history, Caps. In the 2016 summer split, the Turkish Champions League team Dark Passage began searching for a new mid laner. Thanks to a discovery by their top laner, Elwind, they signed Caps. From the very first day, he proved his difference. In the Turkish Grand Final, Caps delivered a phenomenal performance, leading Dark Passage to their 4th consecutive championship and earning the finals MVP title. Just a few months later, he transferred to Fnatic and continued delivering outstanding performances, writing his name into history one match at a time. From his very first professional match, Faker drew the eyes of the world. In the Korean finals against KT with his legendary Zed play, he made everyone agree he was the best. That moment went down as the undisputed greatest play in League of Legends history, and in everyone's ears, the same words echoed, "Faker, what was that?" After that play, Faker went on to become Korean champion, then world champion. It was the perfect beginning to a career that would make him the greatest player of all time. That's it for today's Outplay. Don't forget to like the video to show your support and subscribe with notifications on for more.